Hey guys, welcome to an extremely chilled video today. Today's going to be some plant chores and I'm going to take my time. Listen, I've not long got back from Ireland. It actually really took a toll on me because basically I'm exhausted. I've popped a cold sore. It's not good. It's not good. I actually have a really bad headache today as well. Not ideal. There's a couple of things I actually want to tackle. Sorry for the lighting. I'm stood next to my cabinet, so my face is orange and the rest of the house is blue. The weather is absolutely vile. Okay? It's vile. I would like to attempt propagating one or two things. I have some seeds to pot up and hopefully they don't die on me. We will see. I'm kind of sick to death of how this wall is looking, right? For me personally, it's looking a bit cluttered. I've had a lot of damage, some bacterial rust, stuff like that. It's not looking great, but I really just want to maybe trim a few leaves, tidy it up, rearrange it, maybe remove some stuff. It's not quite bringing me joy, okay? I don't know if you guys can kind of see what I mean, but it's just not a vibe for me. I'm not happy with it. I've had so many problems with bacterial rust. But needless to say, you can probably tell from my videos, this wasn't like this before I went away. I've kind of come back to it. So my very precious queen is not looking very good. Now the problem is I've got nothing here to combat it. So I actually can't do anything about it until I find some treatment for it, basically. So things like this, I'm going to have to ignore. But generally, I just want a little bit of a tidy up. I also want to move some stuff like this. Don't worry, Gus is fine. You'll see him in a bit, but I'm going to give these guys a bit of a trim. Maybe a prop. I don't know. I kind of need more jars and things like that to keep props in because I only have my cupboard at the minute to like watch over stuff. So I'll just see, but I need to trim the dead off him, move him around a little bit and just make this whole thing just a little bit better because I'm not vibing at all. So one of the things I want to tackle, and I've been putting it off because I knew I was going away and I didn't want to basically kill it, is tackling this guy. I'm going to pull him out in a sec. I have other things in this cabinet still. I still need to tackle this guy. This is basically the amazing ghost that I bought in and then I kind of let it die. We'll not talk about him. I have a semi-plan for him, but let's just see kind of what happens with him. That's not what we need today. What we need is a little bit of this guy. I need to do something with him. And I think I'm going to attempt to propagate him. So he needs some water. So it's probably a good job I pulled this out. He goes crispy so quickly. He needs to be in a bigger pot. Maybe that's something I can... Maybe I can do that today. Yeah, maybe I should do that today because he does need a bigger pot. He could do with a cane as well. I swear to you, this is Begonia Ginny Galaxy, right? But it's also sort of Begonia Ginny. So anything on like this side of the plant here is green. And anything on, well, not everything, but a lot of what is on this side is Ginny Galaxy. Case in point, I will prove my point. Just let me check this plant a little bit. That's all normal. We're really only talking about, I think this section of the plant. Is that got any variegates on? Yeah. Basically, this lower section that's in my hand that I'm shaking is the variegated part. And I will prove it, guys. I will prove it. So it's mainly here, look. Can we see this here? Yes, great. There's also a really cute leaf here. Hopefully my camera is going to let you see it. Some there. Technically, this does have variegation on it, on the crispy bit. I will prove my point. I really will. I promise. Can you see? It really does have variegation on, but it's not doing very well and it's getting too dry too quickly. So we need to fix it. So that's kind of on my list of things to do today. Now, when it comes to propagating this, right, I've got an issue. I don't want to cut off an entire, like the variegated part of the cane, right, and lose it because I don't know what I'm doing because, surprise, I've not dealt with begonia much, right, and I'm having mixed results with my begonia. So I want to just take a little bit off and root it and hopefully it'll be fine. I don't want to risk it with the whole thing. Part of me thinks, do I just cut a non-variegated part off and try and root that? But I am generally rooting begonia, so I'm going to give it a go. I'm just thinking maybe not a super variegated bit. So, like for example, this part here in my hands. That's gorgeous. I'm going to let that keep growing. What I might actually grab is the one next to it, this smaller looking vine here, look, because there is some variegation on it. Again, hopefully you can see that. It's low, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's not low, but I think I can learn on this bit because this bit's doing really well and it hopefully will continue to do really well and I won't ruin it. But we definitely need to do something about this because it's all over the place. That like needs its own repot really. Yeah, not a vibe. So we're going to cut that, I think. I'm not really ready to give you a major tour of this cabinet because you guys have probably seen it quite recently, but I'll just show you this shelf since we're here. This is done beautifully and this is something I do want to sort out today. This is begonia white ice. It's growing absolutely superbly. It's giving me a new leaf. It's immaculate. It's fantastic. It's everything I would want from a begonia. That's looking absolutely beautiful. But I do want to put it in one of these pots. This is my Hoya Polyneura Brogue, basically silver Polyneura cutting, which seems to be doing fine, But I have it in these tiny little self-watering pots from Amazon. I will link them below. They're really cool. They come with like a bit of string. That was my doorbell. I have a parcel. We'll get to that because it's makeup and it's fun. So, yes. So I will link these on Amazon because they're actually very useful for AG tiny cuttings like this Hoya, for example. They're probably going to be very useful for things like the seeds that I want to plant, stuff like that. They've done me really well so far. You can get them in a bigger size, which I do need to order. I think these are the slightly smaller size. I also have my other Hoya cutting. This was a freebie. This is, I think it's Heuschkeliana variegata. That's in there as well. That's done beautifully. They've not had a problem. So my begonia have been fine. I want to pop this one up into that. I also want to put this begonia into that, but this one has not liked me. I don't know if, oh my God. Great. Love that for me. I don't know if it's just, it needs high humidity than what I'm giving it. I don't know if it got too underwatered when I was away because this is my really crude method of watering it right now. I just didn't have time to pot it before I went away. So, don't know. She needs a repot again into one of these amazing self-watering pots. And then I will judge my skill level based on that because I'm genuinely questioning if it's just got a bit too dry. So that's something I want to do as well. I also... That's so sad because they're so pretty when they actually grow. Never mind. I also brought this back from Ireland. It was a very special Gloriosum that I actually had. I had it growing in the shop and I remember pulling some aside to keep separately because I thought they were a bit special. They might not be special, but I just thought this looked very special, okay? I thought I had more than one. Turns out I didn't. I gave this one to my girlfriend, but it's not done well since it got there. I mean, it's luck of the draw. It's almost started to rot on the bottom. So I brought it back here to try and get it to grow better. And then I'll bring a fresh cutting maybe later in summer when it's, hopefully anyway, it's survived and it's doing a bit better and I can root another cutting for her. But that's another thing that sort of appeared in here over the last few days. I did have this Scindapsus growing in that pot that you've just seen the Gloriosum in, but admittedly, I planted it way too early. We've rotted on the bottom. It's vile. It's not going very well. So I've actually just very hastily put this in water with the other begonia that's melting. Love that for me. See, my lovely pink one. It will be fine. I'm a firm believer it's going to be fine. I think a lot of this is... I just had so much to do before I went away and I just didn't have the time to do it. I really didn't. Not everything in here is upset with me. A lot of it is fine. Oh, here's another thing. The cutting that I first bought of the white ice, so it's the same plant as this plant. Literally, guys, it started to grow. How long did that take? That took so long, but it's actually started to grow and I'm actually really happy. So I have two of them. Should anything happen, I have two of them and I find it so pretty. I'm really, really happy with this. I did pot it up with kind of like minimal roots, but it's done really well, to be honest. And again, if anyone wants to know, it's fed with my feed. just in the same way that I would put feed into like a lechuza pot or whatever. So it's gone quite well in that sense. I have been putting him in the bottom. Everything else is just meh. I don't think there's any major updates. Nothing's really moved. Here's something that I need to sort out. So this is very sad, okay? This is unbelievably sad. I hope I have enough variegation in this stem. I do. So this looks ridiculous. If anyone remembers, I took cuttings of this, I think before Christmas, and I took loads of variegated cuttings, and life was really good. However, they all died upstairs, and I mean every single one. Every single one. The only Rhaphidophora tetrasperma variegata that I have is now this, and I am so upset about it. Now, there is some variegation in the stem. There is. Is it strong? Absolutely not. It kind of is towards the top where it's been completely balked, if I'm honest. So I'll try and show it to you. Like, it is there. Can you see? It is there. Is it decent? No, absolutely not. We only have a teeny patch here. So at some point I'm going to tackle this, but I am not ready to tackle it. I'm not ready to tackle it. I would like to see what happens at the moment if this just keeps growing at the top. I don't actually know what happened to the growth point. I'm wondering if it just ran out of water or something. I'm sure it'll be okay. But if you look at the growth point is just, it's gone. It's just not there anymore. So I'm going to wait, actually, without cutting it to see if this grows. Will it look terrible? Yes, massively. But if we can grow it and we can get some more nodes with variegation on, personally, I think that's worth more than cutting it now and trying again, because we could get some nodes out of it with variegation on. So I'm not going to do a damn thing with him. I'm actually going to let him just be himself, really. Have I just, oh my God, me and this plant are not getting on, right? Guys, this is so sad. I had a brand new leaf coming. There's the brand new leaf in my fingers. I've put my hand over the top of it and I've snapped it off. Me and this plant. We're not doing well together. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to grow up beautifully, but we are not doing very well together. I might give it some more light up here. I don't know. Already my cabinet's not looking very sexy. It's looking more functional, which is not what I wanted. But I think if I'm having to save plants and repot things, maybe that's just how it is. The bottom's done very well, but again, it's not really a tour thing today. It's just kind of, it is what it is. We either do the propagation first or we look at the wall first. I'm thinking propagations first. So, super quick interlude. When the doorbell went, it was bringing me this. This is makeup related, but I'm going to show you something else I got as well that is planty, kind of like plant mail. It's been in this box, I have opened it, but I will reopen it. So first things first, I bought this little package before I went away to Ireland, and I really wanted it to come before that, but I don't know if it's come from America or what, because it's genuinely been ages for it to get here. But I've been mentioning on my videos recently that I've switched makeup brands, right, in favor of like, instead of wearing my expensive makeup brands I used to wear, I still have a lot of the stuff from those brands, but I've just been enjoying, I suppose that around for my address, I've just really been enjoying my more affordable makeup brands. And to be honest, they're sitting on my skin a lot better. So I made an order on the Milani website a couple of weeks ago, and I got the following. What is this? Oh, it's a receipt. Lovely. I made an order not wanting to spend much money, but I ended up getting, they had like an offer on where basically you've got like a bundle, and I should have spent, it's probably not going to say how much I've actually spent. No, it doesn't. It would have come to like £50 or something, but it ended up coming to like £28. But I only originally would have spent like £24 or something. It was like a really cool bundle. So it's not really what I was aiming to get, but I got it anyway. What I wanted were these, but I technically got these free. So I'll just open them super quick, because I know not everybody cares. So we will whiz over it and get to the plant mail portion. Yeah, I've never tried them before. Milani sponges, if you can see them. So yeah, they were essentially free. If anything, it cost me less than what it would be just buying these separately, because that's what I actually tried to do. Sorry, I still have makeup on my hands. So these really, really intrigued me, and I wish they came like 3 hours ago, because I would have tried them for today. But I've got this, which really, I actually can't wait for. It's Conceal and Correct It's like an under eye brightener, and this one is in a pinky tone, which I really need because I suffer from like really bad like under eyes. Like they're always dark, doesn't matter how much sleep I've had. So I really want to test that out like such. But they kind of come in like a weird, I don't want to say a set, but there's like light versions, medium versions, dark versions of everything. Obviously I got the light version. I also have liquid contour, which I really want to try in a light. That might not always work for me, and I don't contour very much. My face is super round and I can't really fix it. Contour tends to look a bit weird, but I thought I'd try that as well. And the liquid highlighter looks incredible because it's a really nice, it's not full gold. It leans a little bit more champagne. I think they call this Lunar. So what are the shade names in case anyone wants? So this is in Rose. It's a super bright pink liquid under eye brightener. So kind of like a concealer, but not. This one is Honey. They're all number 1 in each set. And then the last one, yeah, it's Lunar in the highlighter. So I've got those. Hopefully we love them. I don't know what I'm going to do about the sponges and stuff, but to be fair, I only have one small sponge from Real Techniques. So it'd be good to try them out. Now then, back to the plant mail. I got this, I can't remember if it was just before I came. No, it wasn't. It arrived when I was away and it survived the entire time because it didn't get delivered inside my house. But it survived the entire time and I have bought, I did say I had done this. Hopefully you can see what that says. That says Caladium White Queen. I've not even opened it. I don't know if there's a picture of it on the guide. This is from, by the way, Farmer Gracie. I've never bought anything from there before. I just really wanted a Caladium bulb, I guess. I don't think I will be able to see what... Well, I mean, I know what it looks like, but I don't know if I can show you what it looks like. Because that is not what it looks like. But they did give me a little postcard in there, which I thought was kind of cute. So I got that in there. Colour Your Summer with Caladiums. Oh, that's probably the White Queen there on the back. You see that? But they get a lot more whiter, in my opinion, when they're mature. Like, I don't think any Caladium looks nice when it's young. I do quite like this Caladium, if anyone can tell me what this one is. Put it up to the camera. This is quite nice. Yeah, I don't like this Caladium. I should really do like a Caladium Rare Plant Index or something, but I don't know if anyone cares about Caladium. I just really wanted to get a bulb because I used to have a Caladium White Queen a long time ago and it was so pretty. It was so pretty. I would love to do it again. Now, will it grow well? We don't know. I've not even opened this. Should we open it since we're here? I have left it because I should plant it soon, but I might do it like next week. It does say plant it spring indoors, but I think this is expecting me to plant this outside or something, and I'm not going to be doing that. So I don't think it matters when I plant it. I might hang on a little bit, but generally, I don't think I need to. Oh yeah, that big nubbin. That's the Caladium bulb. So that will get planted at some point soon. I will be planting it in pon. I just think that that's probably the best way. I look very lit right now. I apologize, guys. So the only other thing, wow, that is dark. The only other thing they gave is, I've not opened this. It's got like a seal in it, look. And it has within it, oh, they have some really nice printed things. Like it's all like inlaid in gold. Just says, we're honoured that when it comes to special planting schemes, you think of us. To express our gratitude, here's a 10% discount to use on your next order. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm keeping that. That's very pretty. It's weird because you think Farmer Gracie and you think like very, I don't want to say rough around the edges, but you don't think it would be, do you know what I'm saying? Like you don't think it'd be like cutesy like that, but it actually really is very cutesy. The things I got in here, very sweet. So at some point soon, guys, we're going to plant it. It's not going to be today. It'll probably be on the next plant chores video. But very happy with all those things. Now then, it's probably time to get you a little bit closer and take a look at this begonia, I think. Right, okay, we're back. We're back in begonia territory. After checking it, none of this has any variegation. I mean, this does. Okay, so this does. All top canes look regular. We only really are talking about these bits here. And I know I seem like I'm making a big deal out of it, guys, but I'm so worried about it because I've just not done this before. But this vine is the one that's really doing all the work. So I think I'm going to cut this vine, and it's quite scary actually. But I want to cut it now before I damage it, I think. And I think we're going to have to repot this today because I don't know, I don't like where we're going with this. Let's try and facilitate this vine, but I can see some growth there. You'll never see this on camera, but there's like the tiniest little bit there. I'm going to see how this does. I promise, guys, I know you're gonna be like, oh my God, it's not even there. It is there. It is there. It's right down this leaf. Okay, I appreciate the light probably is not helping. There is something there. I'm just scared. I'm scared of it all. I'm really hopeful about this one section. I'm so hopeful. Look at it. See that? I'm so hopeful of that. We're going to leave him like that. We are going to repot him, but I just want to be so careful with him. I don't want to upset him. So I've only taken 2 off. I've only taken the one that I wanted to take off that is low variegation, but you never know. And then I took a random bit off that I will keep, but it's just gross. And I don't think it's on the same like patch of Ginny. All right, I will move you. I will move you for these chores. Oh my God, this mat, I complain about it every time. It's just, it's useless, guys. It's useless. It doesn't do anything. Oh my God, can you see my problem? Can you actually see my problem? It just like, what kind of potting mat does that? How's that going to help me? I got it off Amazon, by the way, and I refuse to link it because it's so shit. I'll have to have a look and see what it actually was so you guys can like actively like avoid it. So I'm like reverse influencing you because no one needs to buy this mat. It doesn't do anything. If anyone knows of any cheap, really cheap potting mats that do the job, let me know. Somebody actually told me to get like the IKEA like boot mats. I've used those for forever and I didn't want that. I actually wanted something softer for this countertop. So I did want a potting mat that I could fold out. That works better for me. So that is kind of what I'm looking for, even though I do have the boot mat. So thank you for the suggestion, but I really want a potting mat. So if any of you out there know of any good ones, please let me know. I'm actively looking. I've got some spare pon in here, right? There's nothing wrong with it. It's not actually my pon, as you can probably tell if you've had my pon before. And there is some lacquer in it. I really need to get rid of this. It's starting to annoy me. I haven't thrown it out because obviously it's useful. So I'm going to use it today for this little repot of this. I just think that's the better idea. So I can't see my string. I don't know where my string went, guys. I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss as to where my green string went. But I think I will be able to wrangle enough because I should have, like, this should be enough. I don't need to work miracles when I repot this. I need to be so careful because I'm so used to aroids whereby putting pressure on things like petioles is not a terrible situation. I've come along and I'm snapping begonia all the time. It's really bad. Ooh, okay. Stuff has happened since we potted this guy. I'm going to lie him back this way and gently remove him because I know the variegates are at the front. And I really need to be quite careful. So I'm going to give him a bit of a tug. There we go. Oh, yummy. We've got a bit of rot. Fine. I think if I remember rightly, this was planted up in, like, I think I kept the moss around the root, didn't I? And then I just sort of lifted it and put a bit of pon around it. So really that was a bad decision. I know this, guys. I know this. And it's probably caused some rot. So, oh, that'll be fine. Unfortunately, there is root involved with this. And now I'm at a loss because, again, same as last time, I don't really want to disturb it because I don't want to upset the begonia. So I'm probably not going to disturb it. Otherwise, if we lose all that lovely variegation, we're going to be a bit upset. I'm sure you can agree. So I'm not going to disturb that. I'm so fearful. Like, this is a big jump up. I appreciate this, guys. I really do. But I don't have anything smaller. This is like the smallest thing I have. I'm going to plant it up very high so that when it does get watered, it's not sat in a load of water because that's not how this stuff works. And hopefully that will be fine. I will make a mistake so you don't have to, I guess. Also, I've not put gloves on. Keen eye among you will know that. I think I saw one glove there. And I just didn't think about putting it on. I just didn't think, because I've been doing stuff that isn't like a dedicated repot. So I'm just gonna pour some of this in. That's quite high up. I need to be so gentle, and just let her rule the pot. Like, I do think it was time to pot her up. I just think this is a bit of a jump. Yeah, I'm out of pon. I need some more pon. But will she actually sit like this while I get more pon? Because that was a schoolboy error in not getting more pon. Okay, we're not happy about this. I'll tell you why we're not happy about this. I have plenty of this, right? Jesus, I have plenty of this. It's outside and it's piecing it down. And I don't think this is going to cover it, so I'm a little bit upset because it means that very shortly I'm going to have to go outside. And I don't want to. I may as well just pour it in one side because honestly I'm going to have to move it round. Right. It's not too bad, this. It's probably not quite enough, but I might do something very naughty and thieve a bit of pon from a big Monstera or something. And just put some in the front. Ooh, really carefully where all the fun stuff is. I didn't even need to get as much as I've just got. Gently does it, because every leaf over there is potentially really variegated. Right, I don't want to put any more than that in there, I don't think. So I only have 2 canes, and they're looking very gross, but I don't think I've got any other canes that I can use. I like what I did the first time with this, where I kind of like put 2 canes and just gently gathered it. I actually thought that was like the best way, and it kind of worked really well. I'll try and do the same thing again, because she's falling over, but it is genuinely due to a lack of this. And this is kind of what I did. Now I might leave the good bits out and let them do their thing, because I mean the other bits were kind of like that, weren't they? I have longer canes in the shed, but again, it's so rainy outside. Like, how is this? I'm gonna feed this in a second, by the way. Like, I need a better cane. I need a longer cane. That is needed. It's this that is so short, it's kind of irrelevant. I'm so gently securing this. Like, it's so gentle, guys. It really is. I'm just not willing to risk it for a biscuit. I think she's just going to have to look like this, guys, and look a bit weird until she, like, moves again. I think that's kind of like what we're getting out of her. Like, does she look silly? Yeah, totally. That's probably a better view of her. I'm going to very quickly, like, look at her. She could be better. I'm going to very quickly water her now. So, number 3 in for root. And I'm going to put quite a bit in. By quite a bit, I mean like a mil. And then number 1, the actual feed. And a 1. This whole thing, by the way, goes up to like 3 mil. So when I'm doing less than half each time, I'm basically getting 3 to 4 mil every time. So I'm not exactly accurate with it, but I also know I'm slightly lower than the dilution rate when I use it. That's just what works for me because it's quicker and it allows me to be just as slapdash as I like to be. Just going to go all around it. All over the surface as it has just been planted, and everything will be lovely and dry. Get it all in there. I know it's probably going to take a litre because this shit usually does in pots of this size. Oh, look at this. See, I know that when I finish that, bosh. Oh, perfect. Perfection. Oh, God. There's no way this is going to look anywhere near as good as what it did. But she needed it, guys. And the variegated bits are at the front here. Not actually this bit, but this area. So I'm just going to let her kind of be herself a little bit. But she's okay. I might need a different solution for her. I might even need to move her into the bottom. I don't really know. There she is. Can you see the crisp? But can you see what is on the crisp? Can you see that there? Can you see... It's literally there. So we need to keep a good eye on her. I don't know where I'm going to put her, but she needs a repot. That's like next on my list to do. Let's just close her up. Like so. Okay, listen, I'm already starving, right? If anyone has been following me, well, at all on Instagram, you'll know I'm on a bit of a fitness journey. And we're nearly at 2 p.m. and I'm going to have to eat something, guys. I'm going to have some toast. So bear with me while I make toast and then we will get back to the chores because I'm dying of hunger. I'm dying of hunger. So we're going to do Floralite. It is the best spread I have found for calories. I can't find anything much better. My favorite bread in the world. I know it sounds so silly, but if you're in the UK, this bread is, oh my God, it is amazing. Village Bakery, lightly seeded. Oh, it's so good. I'm going to do that. And also, we're going to use Marmite. Yep, that is what we're doing. Honestly, look at this bread. Look at this bread. It's so soft. Oh, perfect. I need to be slightly careful with my buttery spread, which is not butter. Like, I'm scraping, you know. We can't have too much. Now, I don't want any weird comments, guys, about how gross Marmite is, because listen, it's lovely. It's absolutely lovely. You just have to know how to use it, okay? And what we want is not a ton of it. Like, this looks like a ton, but it's not a ton, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape it over this whole thing. And then we only need a little bit more on. The amount of times I've had someone offer to make me this, and they have nearly killed me because they spread it on here like Nutella, and it's not a vibe. It's not a vibe. Scraping it. That is the key with Marmite. See? There is not a ton on here. There really isn't. It's quite modest. Look, I'll prove it. That is not a ton of Marmite. That is not a ton of Marmite. All good. Okay, so there is something else that I want to tackle, okay? I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this on this kitchen roll, but there are 4 seeds here that I actually pulled off a Anthurium dark forgetii upstairs. Now, I don't know if they're full dark forgetii or what. We don't know. But what I would like to do is plant them. That's what I want to do. I'm going to need to use a little bit of moss, and this is the moss I'm using. To be honest, I've always used this, rightly or wrongly. I just kind of like, I open it, I tear a bit off, I wet it, life is good, you know? Now, how well this is going to go for me, I don't know. Oh wow, they double wrapped it? Ew. I don't know why they've double wrapped it. I just want to cut a corner off, get some moss going, get these seedlings into them, and I might even put a little bit of like cling film over the top to keep this from drying out, because I don't trust, I don't trust any of it. Can I just snip through the moss? Not massively. I can sort of snap it though. There we go. Oof. Right, I want to get something to put this in. I could just put it in this and use it as a sieve. And I'll just water this through. So I've actually watered it through. I haven't fully pulled out the moss yet to like space it. I just want to do it like that. Now, I've had mixed results with doing this in moss, but I'm hoping today I get great results. So I'm going to use, I was only using that to drain some of the water. So the way these work, and I know I showed them before and I said I'd show them in more detail. Hang on. They come in a big pack like this, and the inner parts all look like this, okay? I'm going to remove them. Then you get loads of pieces of this awesome string. So that's fun for us. I'll put that there. Then, of course, you get, I'll just pull a random one off. You get the outer parts, which are here. Now, are they the best quality? No, but do they do the job? Absolutely, they're amazing, see? And then if I put my hand in there, that's where the water line goes. So they end up sitting in like that. Now, what I've been doing, they have, it's not the best one to show you with because I've now got moss in the bottom of it. But see how they have like one big hole? What I've been doing is, I've been taking my string, cord, whatever you want to call it. I've been tying a knot, not all the way in the middle. I've almost left it just shy of the middle like this. Can you see that? I've then been putting the long end through the bottom, like that, and leaving the shorter end in the top. I don't think it matters. That's how I've been using them though. I'm going to take that out, the clean one. And then let's put that back. And then I'm going to use it in the dirty one that's had moss in it. So I'm just going to slide that down. I mean, I know this is absolutely safe with moss because it's moss. So I want to just put some moss in the bottom. I'm just going to open it out a bit like that. And I almost want to plant them halfway in, I think. I don't really know, like that's kind of halfway in. I don't want to overly push the moss down either. I'll push it down a little bit just so they don't get lost and like drop to the bottom where the water holes are. I think that's kind of okay. Like I still want oxygen to get to it. Hopefully you can see this. Let me see if I can tilt you down a little bit more. So the minute we're about here, there's our bottom bit. We can already just sit that in there, to be honest. Obviously I can just dust that off. So that's the bottom. So we're kind of halfway full. I've like semi-pushed it down. I haven't gone crazy with it. I've got plenty moss here, obviously. But now I think I'm going to put the seeds in. So these did have coatings around the seeds. For example, here on this bit of kitchen roll. So what you do is you'd normally get them in a bit of kitchen roll or paper towel if you're in the US and pop the seeds out of the casings. But I'm now going to pick up the seeds one by one and just sort of put them in. Oh, it's hard to get hold of them. Two, just far enough from each other that they've got some room. Not quite in each corner, but you get what I mean. I did have 5, but I dropped one coming downstairs and I'm a little bit upset about it, to be honest, so let's not talk about it. You see that there? I promise there are 4. There you go. You can see the 4 there. All I'm going to do is I'm going to get some moss and really carefully line it over the 4. Like super careful. Like that. And what I might even do, guys, is put a teeny bit of cling film over it because I don't trust it's not going to dry out and the seeds aren't going to dry out. I don't have any trust at all. So if I just get some cling film, or if I've got like a little baggie, then I think we can deal with that. I've got baggies actually, so I'm going to do that. I've got these really, really terrible bags and sort of keep it almost like that. Like that is excessively like rudimentary, but I think it'll just help. So what I actually want to do is I'm going to take this off. I'm going to water it through the top because I actually want like some remnants of the nurture system to like cling to the moss, but I'm not going to do a ton. It's just going to be dead gentle like that. Just enough for it to go through, and then I'll fill up the rest if I need to. I mean, it's already reading quite high actually. So I need a bit extra in there. Are we there? Is that good? How's that looking? Yeah, I would say that was all right. Now we have our little pot with our seedlings. Can't see anything on the top. And we're just gonna genuinely just keep it like that. It's not gonna be airtight when I'm putting that around there like that at all. I mean, I could, but I'm not gonna do that. So I'm just keeping it like that, guys. And I'll just watch and just see what happens with it. So I'll put that in the cupboard. I don't need to name it. I don't have any other seeds, so it'll be fine. I'm also going to have to sacrifice my only other drinking cup for the sake of these cuttings. The begonia cuttings from earlier, we have this one here and this one here. I'm going to be so lazy with this one and I'm just going to lob it in because I don't care, right? What I actually care about is this one. So this is the one with like, it's minimal, but it's there. The variegation on that leaf there where my finger is. I'm actually going to pull this off to give it some space. I might even pull this one off gently. There we go. To give it some space to root. Don't know if that's the right thing, guys, but that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to sit it like that in the glass. I'm going to fucking water it. Now this should have had number 3 in actually, but I think we'll be okay. I know that maybe this isn't like the way of rooting things. Like I do accept that. However, it's really the way that I feel comfortable doing it. And when I did my other begonia like this, it did it did work, you know. I'm just going to leave that there to see if I can help that along. Eek! So yeah, it looks grim, like massively grim, but I'm going to try and fit it in the cabinet, probably on the bottom, and then just hope that it works. We'll see. Okay, so one thing I want to do super quickly, he probably needs, oh, it doesn't need a water, that's interesting. I want to sort this guy out. Let me just zoom you in past me. You may remember this. This is my Maranta lemon lime, and he is lovely. He's had a terrible time in the living room, right? He was borderline dying. He's not done very well. I'll bring Gus down in a minute as well and trim him. But he needs a bit of a trim, but it is literally, we're just talking about the dead stuff. I might trim some off him. I don't really know. I almost don't want to touch him and just let him be until we get more into spring, and then I can trim him and you know, put him back together kind of thing, because like this looks ridiculous and stuff like this. But I might just leave him. I want to trim him. He just looks so bad, guys. I moved him out of the living room because honestly, things were dying. Like things were dying. So we're gonna get rid of these because, as it turns out, the cats quite like to eat them. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? So I'm literally going to take them off to stop my cats eating them. I think Gus, who is on the shelf, is going to be way worse than this. Something tells me we do have some dead bits and pieces, to be honest. He's not done well, honestly. Some of it maybe would be neglect, if I'm completely honest, but it's not all neglect at all. Like, a lot of it was just not enough light, even for these guys. So he will be fine. Again, these things do come back from the grave quite easily. Because at one point, this guy was, can you remember how big he was? He was so big, I think I brought him home to keep him here. It was like, maybe last summer, maybe even like the year before. And he was so big, I didn't have anywhere to put him. So it's kind of a shame that he's got like this, but honestly, guys, he will rise again, 100%. 100%. He definitely needs a repot. I need to sort him out in that sense, but he should be alright. I'll just get some of the crap off him, really. He's got some old flowers. Tell you what I didn't save from the shop before you guys start asking me. The Maranta silver band. I didn't get to save him. It's really sad. But I suppose I could just buy another one because they're so cheap now. Like, when I got mine, it was like COVID, right? And literally, guys, it was about £450 to get one off eBay for like a 2-leaf cutting or something. It was ridiculous. So I will get one at some given point. Just maybe not yet. Now, I have just been leaving him down here because I don't mind him being where he is. Sorry, I'll zoom you out a bit. Because he doesn't look so bad. You know what I'm saying? He looks okay. He's not too offensive. But generally speaking, this bottom run is just so... It's just so cluttered, and I don't really know what to do with it. I should really be tying up loads of plants and stuff, and that was actually my plan. But then I've gone and lost my string, haven't I? So I need to come up with another plan. I'm going to bring Gus down now, but don't get upset, all right? He is crispy. Just stay with me. Let me get him. Oh, this is going to upset some people. Listen, he's fine. He will live again. And he was moved because, you know, because he was upset and everything else. Let me just move him down a bit lower so I can make space to cut him for you. Yeah, he is fine. Like, he's fine. He's just not the happiest. Look at all this, dead. And even though that is growing, I'm probably going to snip that vine back, I think. 100%. I hope you can see this. Let me zoom in a bit. Yeah, all of this I'm going to take off. Because no one needs it. Like, it's fine. Loads of vines that are just dead. Literally dead. But he will be okay. I'm thinking about putting them on top of my cabinet because I don't have anything else on the top. I mean, I do at the minute. I've got like, sorry, I'm not even in the middle of this. I've got like pots and things like that on there, but I don't want that at all. I want something nice on there because it's kind of ruining the vibe of the room. And I'm wondering if these would go well there. They would also equally go as well, like on the floor down here though, and I do think they might grow nicer. So, answers on a postcard. Now this says it has water in, but I actually do want to check, but I don't know if I can get this out. Oh no, it's stuck. I hate this sometimes when you actually can't get the pot out. Oh no, you can. No, it's got water in. Okay, so he has water, guys, don't worry. He has been watered. I made sure he was watered before we went away. He's not the happiest of boys, you know. He's making everything cluttered. Right, how are we doing here? Oh my goodness, we've got like a whole ass situation over here. Love that for us. Oh my god, I'm just going to cut that whole thing off. No one needs that. Like, we have enough of them. You know what I mean? We really do. Like, I'm not going to be clinging on to bits of crap when we can make him look so much nicer and happier. The cats do like to chew on these though. I don't know if it is just the dead parts or they like to chew on them generally. I'm not sure. I definitely see Teddy trying to clamber at the crunchy bits. I mean, rather the crunchy bits than the good bits. I don't see any chew marks on the good parts of the Maranta, on the lemon lime, because this one's been up on the shelf and the lemon lime has been on the floor. But it's not being attacked, the lemon lime. So I've kind of got high hopes for this. I don't know. We've lost a lot of volume on this, but if anyone doesn't know, Gus is now, how old is he now? Bearing in mind he's been trimmed a lot. He's also suffered a lot. I got him in 2018. So he's like, guys, he's 8 years old. No, I can't count. He's 7 years old. 7 years old, and that's all we've got of him. Maybe this year is going to be Gus's year, guys, and we really allow him to flourish and look better, you know. Now, I personally think these look quite cool underneath these, you know, these stands. Sorry, you can't even see what I'm talking about. Let me just show you because I want to soundboard out what I'm thinking. I personally think this looks quite cool. All right, yes, I'd prefer them a little bit lifted like this, but I actually think it looks kind of nice because it is giving something to the bottom, but it still looks neat. I would love it if, it'd be great if IKEA sold like something to put over that. So then you could like, do you know what I mean? You could have like another plinth there because then you could just sit it on that. I don't know why they don't do that. Although this, to be fair, is not like a coffee table. It's just sorry, it's not a plant stand. It's a coffee table. I can't speak today. I'm just going to put him like that because honestly, he's fine there. I quite like him there. He just makes it look kind of nice. As for Gus, maybe I'll keep him down here. I'll put him just there for now, but we'll come up with a cute place for him. My other issues, I will zoom you out for because we need to have a chat, guys. We need to have a chat. A lot of you probably think this looks quite good. To me, it looks quite messy, okay? I don't know. I've had to face these plants like this diagonally so that they grow nice and straight, but really that's not going to work for me because it looks shit. Like if I actually push this all the way back, it probably looks cool as hell, right? And if I just tied these leaves together, it might look a bit tidier. Very cool. But it's not really how it's supposed to grow. Do you know what I mean? Oh, dearie me. We've got a bit of a casualty. Let me just get my scissors while I talk to you. Yeah, this is the cast iron plant that it gets so bad because I neglect it so much. It ends up looking like a hanging plant and really it just needs... We need some string up in this house. We also have a lot of damage from cats and stuff like that on it. But anyway, that's not the point of this. Oh, that's kind of nearly dead. Let's just get rid of that. I just want it to look less... Busy is fine, but messy is not. Do you know what I mean? I just want it to look a certain way. And right now it refuses to. And I don't like that. I want to fix that. Now, that can go maybe there. Maybe that might channel itself in between the plants or not. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know what to do about this. This is, by the way, it's Philodendron Dean McDowell. It's gorgeous. That was a bit of an issue we had unfurling. But it's not really going to be very good when it keeps growing towards the window. So I'm at a slight loss as to what to do with him. I've got a real problem when I want to grow it because I don't want to have it like, what would you say, like sort of spiraling round when it grows. So I'm a bit like, oh shit, what do I do? But this, it kind of is how I always saw it. You know, it's nice like that. It'd probably be better here, I think, because this is very busy. So what if I moved it here? I think you need a different angle here, don't you, really? I think this, as cool as it is, it would look better over here, right? And I really will fix this. I'll show you what I mean. I really will fix this. Look at this. Can you see this? This right here is due to, we went to a show with Nurture System last year, and this was going to be like one of the plants on show to be like, oh my God, the feed, amazing, right? As you do. And we put it in the van, and so many of these, the petioles just got snapped off. It was genuinely soul destroying. So now it looks like this. I've been meaning to make a cut here and let it do its thing. And even if it means it gets smaller, and I haven't done it yet, maybe I should do it now. I'll leave it for now. I'm just getting a bit too in on myself. Right. I'm going to file it in between these. And that is going to look wicked. Of course it is. We know this, guys. We know this. But it's just, it's not going to stay like that because it's going to grow to the right. And I don't really have a solution for it, you know? Now that I think it actually looks worse for trying to do that for it. Like, that's the closest that I can push that back because it's so long. And I always wanted crawlers down here. I don't know what to think about it. Maybe that can go in here. And maybe, I know this is ridiculous, but I'm going to like wedge it back and just see if it behaves a bit better. You might be able to look cutesy here. Now, I've got a problem with this plumania, but that's a different thing entirely. You, I would have loved to group together. Also want this to not be quite as all over the place. If I just get this here, and this here, right? And we sort of clip it together loosely, maybe that helps us. Maybe it doesn't look as silly, but it is going to look silly here. Like, I just want it to look good, guys. That's all I really want. It's not going to be perfect, but like maybe that looks a bit better. I mean, I can maneuver this, but like the problem is when I maneuver it, I know it's false because I know I'm just going to make the plant like spin, like when it grows. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not really the vibe. Like, it does look a bit tidy. It's just not looking how I would like it to. It would have been awesome to gather this boy. But again, I don't know what I'm going to do with him. I can sort of maneuver him like that. Can you see this guy's growth point? Hopefully you can. So he's actually growing to the right. Okay. So in this instance, it probably wouldn't hurt if I faced it that way and put it in a little nook, because then eventually he should grow along this way and it would be fine. So I guess in his case, he just needs to sort of live like that. But he would still be good if he was tied together. Might just have to leave him like that and see if he sorts himself out. He's kind of been a nightmare for me, this plant. I've mentioned it before. He just keeps growing upwards. He's supposed to crawl and he refuses. Yeah, I don't know what to do with him really, other than kind of keep him where he is, but he just looks a bit silly. Like, to most people, this is like a houseplant dream, okay? Like, I do get that. I really do get it. But just not to me, I guess. It just looks messy to me. I'm literally maneuvering you through the rubble. I mean, it looks kind of nice, doesn't it? This definitely looks tidy from pushing this back. I could push it back even more, actually. I just don't really want to piss off this monstera here. I guess he might just have to be pissed off. He needs move, really. He's not doing very well at all. He never really has done either. Yeah, this chlorosum's looking a bit better, I guess. He's still going to look a bit dodge. Then it's really this side now, because this side looks... I actually hate this side, so we're going to look at this side now. It looks tidier than it did, that's for sure. Oh, before we go to the right side, hang on a second, because I actually thought about taking off one of these leaves, and I know you're going to be like, oh my God, why? The answer is it just gets in the way. I've got cat stuff behind here. and it gets in the way. This peace lily just has to stay here for now because he needs repotted so bad. He's so rotted, so miserable. I don't even know how he's alive right now. Like, I actually don't know how he's alive. It baffles me every time because that is rot. That is bad rot. So at some point, guys, that's a plant chore for us. I actually put this peace lily here most of the time to keep him upright because I know how wobbly he is. But the leaf I'm thinking about removing is this dead one down here, if you can see it. That's just ridiculous. I can barely get to the plant stuff. Like, I think we just need to take that off. It's kind of insane. Yeah, wow, okay. Okay, we got him. It needed to happen, guys. Look at the state of it. This is where the cats have had it before. Like, the cat balls, yeah, right, they're hidden, which is actually what I want. But they're not to the point where you can't even get at them. I've thought about removing the other leaf. Hi, cat. I've thought about removing this leaf here, but for now, it's so far up, funny enough, I'll be cutting really random leaves off. So for now, I'm going to leave it, even though it does look a bit odd. I'm going to leave that as it is. Now, the problem I've got is over here, guys. It's over here, because now it's kind of like, how do we make this look less cluttered? Because for me, this is cluttered. See, oh my God, look at this. Look what this cat is doing. He will not stop doing this, right? Wait till you see the state of this plant. He just won't stop biting it. See that? Teddy! Shh. What are you doing? Stop doing it. By the way, wait till you see this plant. My beautiful spathiphyllum, guys, looks so bad. It looks so bad. Look at this. I don't want to say I've given up with it because I haven't, but like this cat, he won't stop. So, slight interlude. Like, there's nothing I can do to make this plant look less awful. Like, it just won't. He just keeps chewing it, and it doesn't really matter what I spray on it, stuff like that. And before you tell me it's toxic, yeah, I know. He's never had a single problem, I think he is just generally an asshole with it. I don't know if I moved it, he would stop doing it, but then again, it's like, I don't know where I can move it to where he will stop chewing it. He just loves to chew it, and it's a shame because it's a really nice plant. If anything, it's worth a bit of money when it's in its prime, which it's not because it keeps getting dog-eared. Like, I don't really know what to do with that, if I'm completely honest. I want to put this in the corner, which is really pretty. Like this boy here. This is really pretty. It's not done very well, actually. It's gone really crispy in places, but this is my wonderful Homolamina rubescens variegated. And it's cute enough. It's just gone a bit crispy and a bit shit. But I'm scared of putting it in the corner in case he's like, oh, I'll just chew on that then. That looks cute, right? It does. It looks cute. Ignore this Monstera. Jesus Christ. We need to put this upstairs because it's been in my existence. There should be arguably a bit more tide over here. This has done terribly, this Variegate Gloriosum, since it started touching the window, essentially, and it's just gone to hell, is what it's gone to. This needs to probably come off. I don't know if I've ever explained, like, my problem, right, with the plants and why it is a bit crowded, okay? Basically, the cats will probably try and jump among the plants, right? But they can't if I've covered everything with a pot. So that is kind of why I've been doing what I've been doing, and I've been really, really kind of covering the gaps on the black plinths. That is kind of why it's like that. Plus it does kind of look cool when it's good anyway. But I'm just struggling a little bit because like this specific one just looks terrible and I can't seem to get it to look okay. But if I took this one out like this, what are we going to put in its place, guys? I know you're probably thinking, oh, that looks really good with nothing. Yeah, it does. But we're going to get problems. I'm telling you now, we're going to get problems. Like, I can't see anything that I would potentially put there instead. Like, I would move this Monstera. I actually think it looks quite good there because it makes this just look all, like, together and shit. Like, I completely get this. My tie looks lovely. Wouldn't really want to screw with my tie. Oh, I say it looks lovely. It's been burnt to high heaven. Just want it to look good and not too busy. Like maybe the plant money I shouldn't be there and it should be moved along that way maybe that actually makes a shit ton more sense. You know what? Let's actually try that. Right, let's move him. Even though he had a lovely spot, I'm going to move him all the way down here and let him be part of this ridiculous mass. Because maybe if the mass is just at one end, we're not as bothered, right? Like, maybe that's cool. To me, it just looks like a bloody mess, but, I mean, it looks good from this angle, but now we're quite bare around here, which isn't the worst. It's like, how do we deal with that? What can we put there? What is the vibe? Because I quite like this, and I do want this guy to have light because he's expensive and we want light from him. We still need something there. He's probably cool enough to go on the bottom, but I think then it starts to look messy again. So at the moment, I'm happy with that. He could look cool there. I actually kind of like him where he is. I think that's kind of sexy there. Maybe we could move him here. You see what I'm trying to do here, guys? Can you see what I'm trying to do? Like, that looks terrible. We need to just generally move that, I think. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Yeah, it's just kind of like, no matter how I move things around, I'm never actually happy with it. You know? Like, never ever happy with it. And it's not for lack of trying, let me tell you. Here's one for you. What if we did this? That looks kind of good. Or does it look shit? Like, maybe that works. I'm really struggling with this gap. Like, I'm really, really struggling. Maybe the Plan Money Eye is not as messy. Should we try? I feel like we should try. So if I move the Plan Money Eye here, oh my God. Now I don't like this here anymore. At all. Don't want it there. Does that look better? Or does it look worse? I feel like today I'm just not going to be satisfied with how this generally is. And I think that's just how it's going to be. Oh, why would I do that when I could put it here? I hear you cry. That's not bad. She can't go any further back, really. She's at max there. Which means this over here now looks silly. Maybe this can now go on an angle, because it's less weird to go on an angle like that. I think the odd thing out to me now is this gap here, and then what's going on with him. So I don't know if I should actually move him, because I'm kind of at a loss now. Like that at the minute is how it is. And I want something here as well, but I don't have anything tall enough yet. I have actually tried to put the Monstera Brazil in the past there, and it's looked terrible. So I've not actually done that. It's tough, you know. It's really, really tough. But I think I might have to leave it like that because we're just going to struggle otherwise. How does anyone else do this when you've got this much stuff? I don't even know. I honestly think the best thing to do would be to just leave it like this and live with it a bit more. Just, it's not making me happy yet. Like, it still feels too cramped. Now, I wanted it dense and I wanted it like a living wall, I know, but there's something about it that I'm just not vibing with. I don't know if it's the crawlers or it's the stuff along the bottom, because I bet if I took away all the stuff on the bottom, it would look sparse, but I wouldn't be like feeling kind of shitty about it. So yeah, it doesn't probably help that I've got loads of plants with problems as well, but I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think I should do here, because I'm kind of at a loss. I don't like shoving all these pots in and stuff. It's not really the vibe I wanted. Don't really know what to do about that. So I'm going to give this a second run, probably in the next 2 weeks or so, maybe a little bit longer. And I'm just going to try and be more experimental, because I've never moved any of my Monstera, but I also think that they look really good where they are. Like, I don't actually want to move them. It's more the other stuff around them that I don't like. I think some stuff does need removed from here, if I'm completely honest. It's just too much. I've got things on here that are my favorites. Like, I know I pick this up all the time. Like, literally, it's got a bit of yellowing on the bottom there. I'm guessing he's dropping his lowest leaf. Very annoying. But I still love him. He's still great. I really want him there. He could do with the water, actually. I don't know. I want it to be a little bit better than what it is. And I think it can be good. It can be great. It's just not great. And I'm sure for many people, this plant wall is absolute goals. Just needs to breathe more, I think. I think it's just a little bit too cramped. And if I didn't have the cats, it wouldn't even be this cramped. But I know when it comes to the pedestals, the coffee table plant stand things, I know that I kind of have to have it like that. So it's a bit annoying. Right, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for watching this amalgamation of plant chores today. I know it hasn't really had the result that we maybe wanted, but it does look nice. Honestly, it does look nice. I'll probably be taking some B-roll for you now to show you, but it's nice. It's just maybe a bit dense for me. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you really soon, probably next week for more videos. Love you and leave you. Thank you very much. Bye.